What's your "I didn't start it, but I definitely finished it" moment? My coworker Sarah kept taking credit for my ideas during team meetings. At first, I thought it was coincidence. We worked on similar projects, so overlap happened. But the pattern became obvious. I spent weeks developing a customer retention strategy. The morning of my presentation, Sarah somehow managed to present the same idea 5 minutes before my scheduled slot. Our manager praised her innovative thinking, while I sat there stunned. 2 weeks later, my analysis of our competitor's strategy appeared in Sarah's quarterly report, word for word. My team members noticed and shot me sympathetic glances, but nobody spoke up. The final straw came when I caught her going through my desk during lunch. I'd stepped back to grab my phone and spotted her taking photos of my handwritten notes. "Looking for something?" I asked from the doorway. She jumped. "Oh, I was just looking for a stapler." My stapler was sitting in plain view on my desk. We both knew she was lying, but she just smiled and walked away as if nothing happened. Instead of confronting her directly, I decided to play the long game. Our annual product development meeting was coming up, with executives flying in from headquarters. Sarah had been feigning for a promotion for months. I created a fake product proposal that looked brilliant on the surface, but I planted a fatal flaw, a calculation error in the financial projections that would make the entire business model collapse. It wasn't obvious enough to catch in a quick review, but anyone who understood the numbers would spot it. I accidentally left the proposal open on my computer before stepping out for lunch. I even added a sticky note that said, "Confidential, annual meeting prep," to make it more enticing. Then I installed a small webcam disguised as a USB charger on my desk. When I reviewed the footage that evening, there she was, taking photos of every page. She even emailed the photos to herself from my computer. For the next week, I pretended to work on something else. Sarah came in early and stayed late, presumably adapting my proposal. She avoided eye contact with me and seemed unusually confident. The day of the annual meeting arrived. Our department head, 3 executives from corporate, and our entire team gathered in the conference room. Sarah had somehow managed to be scheduled first. As she distributed copies of her proposal, I noticed she'd changed the font and reorganized some sections, but it was unmistakably my work. "I've been working on this concept for months," she announced proudly. For 45 minutes, I sat quietly as she presented my proposal slide by slide. The executives seemed impressed, nodding along as she outlined the potential revenue increases. When she finally finished, there was enthusiastic applause. One executive even commented that this was exactly the kind of innovative thinking we need. I raised my hand calmly. "Yes, Alex?" Our department head acknowledged me. "I hate to be the bearer of bad news," I said, "but there's a significant calculation error on page 27 that makes the entire project unfeasible." Everyone flipped to that page. I continued, "If you look at the projected expenses versus revenue, the model actually loses money after the second quarter." "Sarah, you didn't catch this?" our department head asked, clearly disappointed. I'm not sure how that happened," she stammered, her face flushing. That's when I pulled out my folder and distributed copies of my original draft, dated 3 weeks earlier, complete with the same error. "That's because it's not her proposal. It's mine. She's been stealing my work for months." I played the video from my hidden camera showing her photographing my computer screen. Sarah's face drained of color as she gathered her papers with shaking hands. The next morning, Sarah's desk was empty. She was transferred to our satellite office in a different state.